Come fly with me today. After everything's set up and checked, grab your wing, grab your A's, check your lines, take a deep breath, one step back, and give her the beans. After the wing is up, you let go of your A's and give her throttle. If everything's stable, full throttle, and you're up. Stow your brake, get into your seat. Sometimes you gotta wiggle a little bit, and grab your brake again. Time to get comfortable. We're flying now. Quick wiggle in the seat will get you where you need to be. Now you steadily gain altitude. Beautiful blue, clear sky today. Couldn't be any better. Today I'm out here with my buddy Jesse, my instructor Mike, and I think Jeff's hanging around at the field somewhere flying too. Today we're going to head out on an adventure. We're going to head a little bit north of the airport, do some sightseeing, see what there is to see. Time for an adventure. That's our little Lake George over there that we got. It's kind of a cool little lake. So I passed over the little creek down below, and I wanted to get enough altitude so if anything happened to my motor while going over these trees, I could land out either to the left right there or to the right in that field, or possibly coast out enough where I can make it to the field ahead of me. Always got to keep in mind that these are two-stroke motors and they can fail or something can happen. You always want to have a place where you can land out safely. I consistently try to scan areas to make sure that I got a place to go. Oh, here comes a paramotor. I think this is Vito. Either Vito or Jeff, I don't really know. One of the guys. Well, we made it over the tree patch, and now we got this big open field, so if anything happens, we're all good. Oh look, another paramotor. I believe that's Jeff. Oh yeah, with moves like that, that's Jeff. Coming up to a road crossing here, I think this is Highway C, so a little tiny highway here in Kenosha County. And then I saw this awesome looking field. Looks like the guy's growing a bunch of different types of trees and shrubs, maybe food. It was really cool to fly over. I decided to give it a go and rip over this nursery real quick. Couldn't resist. It was really cool to see all the different types of plants and trees and shrubs that he had going on. And then I looked in the barn and I actually think I kind of saw him over there, so I decided to turn around. It's probably time to go back anyways. After I checked out the field, I decided to get a little altitude. Flying over cars and houses is always a weird sensation, but it's so cool. So now I'm going into the wind, so I'm going a little bit slower. It might take me about 5 to 10 minutes to get back to the airport. Again, on the right, this is our little Lake George that we got. So from about this angle, you can see downtown Milwaukee and downtown Chicago. It's pretty cool. Crossing the creek again, and there's a couple of cool homes right next to the lake. Getting a little closer to the airport, aka home. Oh, by the way, I still have no idea what I'm doing with the Insta360 app when I had it, so hang on, it's going to be a crazy ride. Back at the airport now, and you can see Jeff there flying low and slow. And that's our little tiny airport. Watch Jeff do a nice little foot drag. And he's off again. Gonna rip over the airport here and fly over another road. I think this is a County W. I always try to push myself on these flights just a little bit more and more each time. I try not to get out of the box and push myself into a danger zone or have some machoism, but I try to go a little bit further, do something new, get a little bit more comfortable, stow the brake, relax, enjoy yourself a little bit more. Today was a great day to do that. The weather was super calm. I felt very comfortable. It was a little chilly. I think it was about 63 degrees with about a 7-mile-an-hour wind when we went up. So it was a little chilly, but perfect flying. So this is where I decided to get a little spicy and try some cruise control, I believe. It did not go well. I stopped right away. I tried to engage it, but it wouldn't engage, and then I let go. It went to idle, kind of dove forward and spooked me a little bit, so I stopped and hit throttle again. It was a little bit too low to be messing around like that. On the right hand side over there, a lady lost her barn, I want to say a couple months ago in a bad storm. Now that we're safely back at the airport location, we're just going to fly around and try some new things. I wanted to work on tighter turning, which requires me pulling a little bit more brake than I've been used to, so turns should be a little bit sharper in the future. I'm also testing out different camera angles. I don't know if behind the back or on the swing arm is any better, but I'm just trying new things to see what works out. Speaking of swing arm, I should probably pull this camera out. I think I do that pretty soon here. Ah, here I go. It can go out much further than that. I just didn't do that. Let's see. Doing a quick low pass, telling everybody it's good up here, life is good. Just relax. I believe my instructor's still on the ground because he was struggling with some motor issues. I guess his is overheating. He's got a brand new motor. He's trying to figure it out, and I feel bad for him. But I'm gonna fly anyways. I appreciate you guys that reached out to me saying they want more long form content. I know this world's kind of turning into very, very short social media type things, and people wanted to see more longer content on my YouTube, so I decided to post this one. And I appreciate you guys for A, just watching, and B, reaching out saying, you're doing a cool thing and you're doing a good job. It really means a lot to me, and I appreciate all you guys. Basically, this is the view that you kind of get when you're flying a paramotor. So if you ever wanted to try it, this is kind of what it looks like. And once you're off the ground, flying is relatively easily. As long as you do it in good wind and you have proper instruction, you should be safe. Also, you have to have safe gear, you have to maintain your stuff, and you have to do all your proper pre-flight checks to make sure everything's okay. And when you get down, you should do post-flight checks just to make sure everything didn't bump out of order. And everything should be good. You are very safe. Statistically, they say I'm more likely to get killed on the way to the airport than I am flying. Flying these ultralights, if you do it right with proper instruction, with safe gear, you should be okay. Oh look, there's Jesse behind us. He's really high up there. I get asked from a lot of people, can I do it? Is it hard? And my answer, it's mixed. I mean, it's not for everybody. If you want a cheap form of aviation, this is definitely it. You have to want to do it as well. And if you can run, I would do foot launch. If you can't run, your back's bad, maybe get into a trike. It's still definitely possible for you to do it. It does take a lot of work and a little bit of a mental hump to get over, but it is one of the most incredible things I've ever done in my life, and I'm so incredibly glad that I did it. I feel so bad for my instructor being on the ground, and we're up here having a blast. This particular flight was my second flight with no instruction on takeoff and landing. I think I did an okay job. I'm getting used to it. It's kind of like riding a bike. This was my 12th flight, and I wanted to get out a little bit further. I did that. I wanted to stow my brakes more often. I did that. I did want to go up higher and go to idle and coast down a little bit. I did not do that, but I'll save that for next time. I practiced turning a little bit harder, which I really got a little bit used to, and I will feel a little bit more comfortable about that. So every time I'm working to get a little bit closer. Looks like I was calling in, seeing if I can get a landing clearance. Well, now time to prepare for a landing, I suppose, so better tuck that camera in. And this is where my editing skills get really bad. going to make one kind of low pass on the runway to make sure that the air is good down low. Probably make one more circle and then come in for a landing. At this point, I really wanted to stay in the air longer because I was having a ball. But I was actually kind of getting a little bit chilly. You know, when you're up there, it's about 55 degrees if it's 65 degrees on the ground, then you got a 30-mile-an-hour wind in your face. It's kind of like being on a motorcycle, and I just got a sweatshirt on, some pants, so I'm kind of getting a little chattery up there. Looks like that was one full file for the old Insta360. Cut out and came back in right here. Good timing though, because I think I'm about to come in for a landing. So I try to come in over this tree line and make sure I land into the wind. Right now the wind's coming from the southeast, probably at about 4 miles an hour, maybe 5. So it should be a really fairly smooth landing. At this point, I'm kind of getting lower and lower on the idle to try to come down a little bit, till basically when I get to 0, and then I let go of the stick. Once I feel that I'm gonna make it to my landing spot, let go of the stick, coast in, turn off the motor, there's my kill switch, hold that down, make sure she's off, get out of my seat, coast in for a landing. Smooth inputs helps a lot right here. When you get down here, mid-brake, and then full brake, and you're done. Landed. Sometimes it's easier said than done though. Thanks for flying with me today. As always, happy flying, safe flying.